So if you want to simultaneously promote body positivity and being healthy, why would you just put a plus size woman on the cover and have her just standing there doing absolutely nothing at all? Why wouldn't you put a plus size woman on the cover and have her performing activities that are actually healthy, like going for a walk or working? Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the latest Cosmopolitan magazine cover. This is healthy, 11 women on why wellness doesn't have to be one size fits all, which is a pretty far cry from an article they released just a couple months ago titled, Your Guide to the Correct Portion Sizes, How Much Food You Should Be Eating. We break down how much you should be eating depending on whether you want to lose or maintain weight. So they did a pretty big 180. Did they have a change of heart? No, they were just trying to sell as many magazines and stir up as much drama as possible, which is what all of these different magazines do, and I don't really have a problem with that. My problem is with the "This is healthy" label that they put on the magazine. I actually made a video months back with regard to Cosmopolitan magazine, specifically the Tess Holiday cover and whether or not I believed Cosmopolitan magazine was glorifying obesity. And my original stance on that topic was no, I do not believe that Cosmopolitan magazine was glorifying obesity simply by having Tess Holiday on the cover of the magazine, because they weren't really claiming anything about health. They didn't have a picture of her and said this is healthy or anything along those lines. They just had a picture of her. It was what it was. With regard to this magazine cover, they must have seen that video and made it just to annoy me, because sure enough, they end up doing something similar, only this time they put "This is healthy" right on the cover. And this is something that annoys the crap out of me. It is not only with regard to Cosmopolitan magazine, but this is also with regard to the fitness industry in general. One of my biggest pet peeves with regard to the fitness industry is how hyper-focused they are on aesthetics. I am going to show you a picture of Big Ramy right over here. He is the latest 2020 Mr. Olympia winner, and I would have been just as annoyed if Cosmopolitan magazine had put a picture of Big Ramy on their cover and said "This is healthy" with a picture of him, because guess what? You cannot tell if somebody is healthy just by looking at them. Somebody can have a six-pack and be incredibly unhealthy, and somebody can be overweight and be perfectly healthy. You cannot tell just by looking at somebody if they are healthy or how their body is functioning. So if you want to simultaneously promote body positivity and being healthy, why would you just put a plus size woman on the cover and have her just standing there doing absolutely nothing at all? Why wouldn't you put a plus size woman on the cover and have her performing activities that are actually healthy, like going for a walk or working out, stretching, doing yoga, playing a sport? By simply putting a plus size woman on the cover just standing there doing nothing at all with the quotation "This is healthy," you are essentially doing the exact same thing that you are criticizing all of the fitness magazines and magazines in the past for doing, and that is by focusing on aesthetics rather than on function. If you had a plus size woman doing the activities that I just listed, this would have been a much better way to get your point across of "This is healthy." And with regard to Cosmopolitan magazine, I do not read them because personally, I do not need to know 50 sexy ways to touch him there, 22 things about anal beads, 17 must-have sex toys, or 13 sex storage ideas, because all of my sex storage ideas are right over here. But anyway, with regard to Cosmopolitan magazine, I ended up going through the article, and there were actually a couple of things that I saw from a couple of the women that were interviewed, the 11 women, and I wanted to bring up those topics right now. The first one, it comes from Morgan Lake. Morgan Lake, she is an Olympic track and field athlete, and she was quoted as saying, "I focus on what my body can do, not how it looks." You do naturally compare yourself to other people in the sport, especially if they are jumping better than you or they are a certain body type and you're not. But you can't see how many hours of training they are putting in, so it's much easier to make it about how you look. But Morgan adds, the most important thing is to focus on the things you can control and how you feel in your body. These days, she says, I focus on what my body can do, not how it looks. The main thing is having energy, feeling good, and for me, how much power I can generate. With regard to this particular quote, this is something that is incredibly important and something that I think more people should focus on. Rather than aesthetics, I think focusing on how exactly your body is feeling and how it is performing is going to be much, much better. With regard to this one over here, how is your mobility? Are you able to put your socks on without any issues? Are you able to touch your toes? Can you get down into a deep squat? Can you lift your arms straight up in the air? I have a lot of patients that are unable to do that. So would you rather have a six-pack and only be able to get your arms up to here, or be a little bit overweight and be able to reach right up to the sky? Me personally, I would rather have no six-pack and be able to touch the sky than have an amazing six-pack and only be able to get my arms out to there. Another thing is, how do your joints feel? Does it hurt when you walk around? Are they constantly swollen? How's your endurance? Are you able to walk up the stairs without being winded? I'm going to share a little personal anecdote of myself. Me personally, this is me back a few years ago when I was really into bodybuilding. When I was younger, I was really into bodybuilding, and at my peak weight, I got up to 177 pounds. And Personally, I think that I looked my best during that period. However, I felt my worst. Me personally, when I get into the 170s, my body's function just goes down. I get really, really winded really easily. I sweat a lot. And at that time, I remember this was around 2013, 2015, between that time period, I was training full time. And then I was also teaching music part-time. I was doing guitar lessons and also drum lessons for this music school because it was something that I enjoyed. I only did it 1 to 2 days a week, but I did it because I enjoyed it. And I remember when I was teaching my students, I would be dripping sweat just because of how heavy I was. Now, 177 pounds, it doesn't seem like that much, but for me personally on my frame, 170 pounds plus is a lot of weight. I feel my best between 155 and 165 pounds. When I was younger, my main goal was just to get as big as possible. So I wanted to be as muscular as possible. And when I did get to that goal, I found that just my health was not optimal. So me personally, even though I looked better in my own opinion when I was at that weight, I feel much better now. So I would much rather not look quite as how I want to look, but feel amazing rather than looking amazing and feeling like crap. And then another little story about when I was that weight. I remember when I was doing my massage therapy program, for a few days, there was a period of time where the elevator was broken and we had to actually walk up the stairs. And for me, when I was 177 pounds, just walking up and down the stairs, I was winded. I was completely out of breath just from walking up and down the stairs. Whereas now, that's not going to cause me any issues at all. So even though I looked really, really good when I was 177 pounds, my function was absolute garbage and I was not the healthiest that I could have been. Whereas now, I may not like the way I look as much as I did back then, but I feel much better. And for me, that's the most important thing. I would rather feel good than look good. And just because you have abs, it does not mean that you are healthy and it does not mean that you are in shape. In fact, there was another woman that was interviewed. It was Jada Caesar, and she said, "People have said you're fat, you can't be fit. I grew up with the misconception that fitness meant thinness," she explains. "Now we understand that being thin can also be unhealthy. Things have to be stable, long-lasting, and feel good for you." This is another excellent point that she brings up, and something that, yes, you can be fit and you do not need to have the stereotypical thin body. I'm going to show you a picture right now, right up over here, of Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier is one of the best athletes on the planet, and not too long ago, he was the simultaneous light heavyweight champion and the heavyweight champion in the UFC. When you look at him, you would never know it by looking at him, because if you have this misconception of thinking that if you are overweight, you cannot possibly be athletic, then you would look at him and not realize how much of a tremendous athlete he is. However, just because you are overweight, it does not mean that you cannot partake in sports, and it does not mean that you can excel in sports. And also, just because you are training, it does not mean that you hate your body and you are trying to change your body. Not everybody who works out is somebody that hates themselves and is just trying to change their body. Some people are just working out because they want to get stronger, they want to improve their function. Daniel Cormier is the perfect example. He trains, he's one of the greatest athletes on the planet, but he's not training to be a bodybuilder. He doesn't have a six-pack. He wants to be the best athlete that he can be. That is why he trains. And when I work out, I am not doing it as a punishment because I hate my body and I want it to look better. When I work out, I am doing it as a celebration of what my body can do. I'm not really focused on getting the biggest muscles possible or anything like that. Me personally, right now, my goals are more strength related. So if I am able to lift a weight and it is heavier than the weight that I was able to lift prior, for me, I am incredibly happy with that goal. I am not working out as a punishment because I overate the day before and I need to punish myself so that I can maintain a certain weight. And if you're the type of person who believes that training is just for aesthetics, it is not. It is for improving function. So if you are happy with how you look and you don't really care about losing any weight, what other goals do you have? Would you like to improve your mobility? Would you like to improve your strength, your endurance, your agility, your flexibility, your coordination, your balance? Just because you are working out, it doesn't mean that you are automatically hating your body and you are trying to lose weight. There are plenty of reasons to work out. So if you are somebody who is not working out and you do have certain goals like improving flexibility, mobility, anything like that, write out a list of what exactly your goals are. And if working out can help you achieve those specific goals, you don't need to feel bad about it. Working out doesn't mean that you hate yourself. A lot of people work out because they love their body and they are celebrating what their bodies are capable of doing. So if you do love your body and you would love to improve its function, then go ahead and get on a good training program. And if you're not sure exactly where to start, you have absolutely zero clue what you're doing in the gym, then I'm going to include a link right up over here to my 1-year beginner program. It has 12 separate programs that you can incorporate over the entire year of 2021 to make it your best year yet. You don't have to use it as a weight loss program. You could use it to just improve your function, improve your mobility, anything like that. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.